many people come to me and they want to write a book and they want to get it published by a major publisher, and then they want to make that book a bestseller. Well, with me is one of my Quantum Leap members who has done all of that. Dondi, Dahlin, author, proud to say, author of the bestseller, The Five Elements.
Thank you.
Good to have you here.
Good to be here. I'm really excited.
You know, talk a little bit about what you've done, what you've learned in this journey of becoming an author. You know, I think, for example, when it comes to for some people, I know that it's harder to write the book than it is to market it. For other people, it's a lot harder to market the book than it is to write it. And you talk about the 5 elements, which are personality types, and I know you echo that. For you, what was harder, the writing of the book or the marketing?
Oh my gosh, this is a good question that I've never been asked in all my interviews. I love it. Both were hard, but made much easier by being in your program. The writing of the book took me about 2 years, and what I did, because it was recommended to me by your coaches, as I was writing, I was already starting my marketing. And so what I would do is I would make little clips of myself writing my book, or I'd take still pictures of myself and I'd put it on social media. I'd say, hey everybody, I'm on chapter 3 working hard. And there I was with my bag of chips and my tea and my candy and whatever was helping me get through the writing of the book. So what your coaches told me was build a relationship with your audience. And that stuck with me, build a relationship with your audience. So I wanted to take them on a journey with me. So I started way back in the beginning of writing my book and taking them on a journey with me. And I'd say, hey everybody, I have a 7-year-old. So I'd say, I gotta get away from the family this weekend. I'm going to a hotel at the beach. And I'd take a picture of the hotel at the beach and I'd say, I'm here writing. And everyone started cheering me on and really supporting me. So by the time I said, all right, everyone, now I want to be a bestseller on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. Will you support me? They all felt like they were a part of my journey, and they are. Yeah. They are a part of my journey. They are my community.
That's great.
It's been great.
And I think it's such a great example because people sometimes say, well, I don't have anything. How am I going to promote myself, build my platform? I don't have anything yet. And your point is, that's the point. You're in the process, and you're sharing that journey. And I love that. So did you do that on a daily basis, a weekly basis? What kind of frequency?
I did that on a weekly basis for sure, and sometimes I would do it every day or every other day if I had something really cool to write. Like one night I was at the beach writing and I started eating all this food, and it dawned on me I was using that as my survival to get through the night. And so I asked the question, what do you all do for survival? What do you do to get your book written? And everybody started writing in. So if something inspired me, I'd just post it. And my favorite platform is Facebook, and part of it is because of your coaches who have told me about Facebook. I love it. And so I would just start posting. And I have to say, I do this from my phone. I have no special equipment, no sound crew. One time a lady wrote me and she said, you need to talk to your lighting crew because you're really in the shadows. You need to talk to them. I said, what lighting crew? I have my phone propped up on a book, like with a pot and a pan behind it so it'll stay.
There we go. There we go. And you've made a lot of those also 1-minute videos.
Yes.
And was that worth doing? Has that been worth it?
Absolutely. So I make 1-minute videos called the Wednesday Energy Minute. And these come out every Wednesday. I put it right there in the title so no one would forget. And what I do is I travel all over the world because I work for my mom, and she's also an author, and so she goes around the world teaching. And when we go off to Germany or Portugal or Asia, I film these little energy clips, 1 minute long, and I give people an exercise of how to boost their energy through energy medicine, because that's our work.
Oh, perfect. People might want to know, well, who's your mom?
My mom is Donna Eden, and she's a pioneer in the world of energy medicine, self-healing. So empowering yourself to heal yourself without the use of pharmaceuticals or running to the doctor all the time. We love doctors. We have nothing against them, but to self-heal.
What's one thing you've learned from your mom that has helped you as an author or speaker?
Oh my gosh, I love your questions. My mom is so off the cuff and she's so spontaneous. She's a fire earth in the 5 element system.
Okay.
The elements are water, wood, fire, earth, and metal. She's a combination. And fire earths are very bubbly and fun. And I've learned that I don't have to have everything rehearsed. I don't have to have everything perfect, that if I lead with my heart, as my mom does,
Oh, wow.
I'm going to get places.
Now that, if people just take that away from this interview, go lead with your heart, trust your gut,
Yes.
go with your heart first.
Yes.
And that helps to overcome the perfectionism and the planning, and that's exciting. So so you did that to build your platform.
Mm-hmm.
And then you ended up, talk about what did you do to land your publishing deal?
Well, to land my publishing deal, I cannot lie, I did have some help from my mom.
Mm-hmm.
My mom said, you know, I have these connections, I have this publisher and this publisher and this publisher, and I can probably get you in the door.
Mm-hmm.
So she got me in the door, but I took 7 months to write an amazing proposal, and I hired an editor to help me with that proposal. So I made it great. It was 108 pages, this proposal.
Wow.
I wanted it to be fantastic because I didn't want to get a publisher based on my mom's name.
There you
I
go.
wanted it to be because of my hard work.
What have been some things you've learned in terms of promoting the book and making it a bestseller? What's 1 or 2 things that would be helpful?
Well, I think one of the main things I have learned is that when you're doing media, you have to learn to talk in sound bites. And I'm saying this especially for the women out there because we can wax on eloquently and use our feminine spirit and we can be inspirational, but then suddenly 20 minutes later we've gone off. You need to learn to speak in sound bites, and that has been a big piece for me because after I went to the publicity summit, I got tons of radio shows. And so I really had to learn to hone it down. And then I'd say the second huge piece for me, I go back to, which I already mentioned, is build a relationship with your audience. If you don't think you have an audience, believe me, you do. Go on Facebook. If you're thinking, I'm not a social media person, you have to choose at least one platform you like. For me, it's Facebook. Whether it's Instagram or Twitter, start building the relationship. Hey, everybody, I'm writing a book. I'm having trouble with chapter 2, and I'm thinking of this title. What do you all think? Should it be this title or that title? People love to help, and they'll start helping you, and they'll feel that they're a part of your community because they are.
Because they are.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, let's break that down a little bit because that's something you do well. And I think because it's easy to say, well, build a relationship, do
Yeah.
Facebook, do social media.
Yeah.
But let's break that down for people. Like you're really talking, saying, hey, share the journey, share what's
Yes.
going on, share, hey, I'm working on chapter 2. What do you think? This or this?
Yes.
So what I'm hearing is that you're sharing, the steps of the journey, and you're even when you come up to a crossroads, you're putting it out there, or
Yes.
you're posing questions
Yes.
so people respond. What are some other things that you think you do well? I assume you have pictures as you travel, so you're always able to share a little bit of something, fun place you are or something.
Yes, I'm able to share fun places that I am. I like to show where I'm writing because a lot of people think, should I be doing this on a computer? What if I do it with a paper and pen? Am I doing it wrong? Am I doing it right? There's a lot of doubt that goes through people's minds. I know this sounds silly, but it's amazing once you talk to people and they say, I didn't know if I was doing it right. Your journey is your journey. You're doing it right. And now share that journey. So one day I went into my backyard in San Diego and I set up a little picnic table and I thought, I'm not using my laptop today. I'm just going to use my pen and paper. And I thought, I need to film this. I need to show people. And I set up my phone and leaned it on the piece of wood that was there. And I said, hi, everybody. Today I'm writing with paper and pen. I'm working on my book. People loved it. They said, oh my gosh, I'm going to go back to paper and pen. I want to do that. So even if you think it's dumb, it's not dumb. It's your journey, and people People want to be brought into your journey.
And brought into your world in that
Yes.
way. And I like that. What about, sometimes I find that success often involves overcoming certain fears, or at least one fear, or maybe getting comfortable doing something that is uncomfortable. So you mentioned, learning to speak in sound bites. Internally, or what have you, was there any fear that you felt, fear or doubt that you had to address in this journey?
You're asking a woman who's pretty fearless.
Okay, good. Very
But
good.
I do have some fears. I do. The speaking in sound bites was hard for me. I had to overcome that fear and then learn with your team how to speak in sound bites, because you can't just tell someone speak in sound bites. What is that? Your team taught me how to do it. That was a fear. I also had a fear, and I think some people have this, of being really successful. Because who am I? Who am I to be successful? There are people all over the world who are struggling and suffering. And here I am writing a book and trying to be a bestseller on Amazon. I had to get over that fear and say, you know what? It's okay. This is my journey. This is my life. It is valuable, and it is relative also to everything. And it's okay. I had to come to peace with that. And for that, I used a bit of meditation and a bit of positive self-talk, some tapping, some EFT. I think people are some people are familiar with EFT.
Sure.
And it's tapping on acupressure points and saying positive affirmations.
Yeah.
So whatever the fear is, I will say this, you've got to get past it. You can't let it block you. Life is too short.
Yeah.
It's just too short. Yeah. I'm already in my late 40s. What am I going to do? Be in my late 50s saying, oh, I'm scared of success and I didn't write that book. No, get past it. Figure out a way. Find your bliss in walking in nature or meditation or yoga. Something to bring you to peace with your own journey.
That's great. So you were sharing with me a couple minutes ago about one of the things you really learned from me that you'll kind of remember, one of my sound bites. And what is that?
Marketing is love.
Marketing is love. Okay,
Yes.
So that really spoke to you.
It really spoke to me because, as a woman, we're taught not to be too forward. You don't want to be an assertive or aggressive woman. Ew, no one wants that. And what do you have to do in marketing? You kind of got to lean into it. You have to be a little bit forward. You definitely have to value yourself. And you taught me that you can value yourself. You can come from your heart. You can come from this place of offering a service to people, with the foundation being love. And that is marketing. And I love it. And I've stolen it. And I use it now.
I'm so glad. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's like preparing a meal and you serve it and they may like it or not, but by golly, you're going to serve that meal.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. And the people who receive the marketing through love are going to receive it better because it's coming through love.
Yeah.
It's brilliant and it's real and it's true. And that's why it stuck with me. And that's why it's so powerful.
Well, it is really true. And the other thing that's interesting is, though, like you can't fake love. Like you can say, well, let me try to be loving or whatever, but once because if you're trying to sound loving or come across like you love, you come across fake.
Right.
But sometimes when we're, of course, whether we're presenting something or doing a video, we obviously would like people to buy. We would like positive results. And I do find that when I say, well, hold it, okay, I want to love and serve these people, and so how can I speak to them? How can I help them?
Yes.
And you obviously should be promoting something that helps them. And it is a wonderful. I find it helps me get past the fear.
Yes, it does. It helps get past the fear. It's a shift because you also shift from it. It also helps you get past the me place.
Yes.
The selfish place.
Right.
You shift past this is about me in my book to what can I offer people? How can I help people?
That's right. And sometimes to help them, you have to directly say, hey, you need to do this.
Yes.
Or sometimes to help them,
Yes.
you have to confront them with what's really going on.
That's true.
So there
true.
is and so you can be very active with it and challenge people in a loving way. And so I'm so glad that you took a hold of that, and now you've become a best-selling author as a result.
Yes, best-selling on Amazon and Barnes & Noble, and who knows if I'll get to the New York Times,
right.
but I'm going to try.
You're on your way. That's
Because
awesome.
marketing is love.
There we go. There we go. Well, listen, thanks so much for sharing. I appreciate it.
you.
And The 5 Elements by Dondi, Dahlin. Make sure you get your copy, and you'll be able to find your personality style. You'll be able to understand other people and be able to work with them and hopefully get them to buy your book. This is great. Thanks for joining us.